Hello everyone, Sub-Zero the Ice Ninja here, and welcome back to Cold Reviews, a Dead series that I haven't brought back in a while. So, I'm going to do a cold reviews on my HP Omen gaming laptop. So as you know, guys, I got this laptop recently for 875 quid. And so far, it's been great. Now I got my documents back and all. It has been, and as you know, I've recorded the Sonic Mania tests for editing, but I'm taking a break from editing because I'm so hell bent on it. This ended up resulting in my Fortnite Season 8 video being delayed. I've recorded it about like 7 times at this point and still no result. So that's why it's taking forever for me to get a Fortnite Season 8 video out. So I decided to sort of fill in the gap. I'll do a code reviews on that laptop. And also I'm going to be taking a break from editing as well, so I'm not going to have like all the text and all come up here. Wish I could though. So anyway, this is the laptop here. I'm not sure what the exact model is. I think it's a HP Omen 15, I think. So in terms of specs, I've pretty much said them all before, but of course I'm just going to brag the hell out of it because I'm glad I got it. The specs are Core i7. The processor is a Core i7 7700 HQ, 2.8 GHz, but it can also turbo boost up to 3.8 GHz if it ever has to. The graphics card is an NVIDIA GTX 1060 Max-Q with 6GB GDDR5 VRAM. And also the RAM is 8GB of DDR4 RAM. The hard drive is a 1TB. Yeah, 1TB hard drive, and Windows is installed onto a 128GB. I'm not sure. I think it might be an M2 SSD. It's definitely an SSD though. I'm not sure if it's M2 or not. I think it might be M2. Pretty much all laptops have M2 SSDs. And then you have like for the operating system, it's Windows 10 Home. Then this particular model here. So that's pretty much everything on the spec side. The screen, I think, is 15.6 inch. From, here. The keyboard is a backlit keyboard, like with the red backlighting. If you hold function and press F4, you can change the backlighting on it, as you see here, to have either the backlighting off, fully on, or only just the WASD keys. To be honest, I have this on, but I have this on normally, but that's only because the laptops always seem to be plugged in, because I'm pretty sure if I had this off, I think it'd just be a poor excuse for this laptop to have bad battery life. The trackpad here feels okay. I didn't see anywhere it's saying about having Windows Precision drivers, so I'm not exactly sure if it has it or not. Also, unlike most laptops, they actually have physical keys for clicking as well as being able to just do your gestures as well to actually click. So you can just tap the trackpad and it clicks. Other than that, so you just have those gestures. In terms of the actual area here, you have your power button up here. You have your speakers. I believe these are the speakers here. They get really good. They get surprisingly loud as well, and I normally use them over the TV speakers. That's how good they are. Of course, I wouldn't expect anything less from HP. So then I talked about the keyboard already. You have your palm rest here, just between the two sides of the trackpad, and then you just have your Intel and Nvidia stickers right here. Your Core i7 right here, and the GTX, and that's just an SD card after I just have it in there. In terms of ports, on the left side here we have a mini display port back there, HDMI, Ethernet, USB 3, USB-C that supports Thunderbolt, headphone jack, microphone jack, and then if we go across to here you have your charging port, 2 more USB 3s, and there's also an SD card reader there as well. It's very hard to see, but where the SD card adapter is right beside it. If we show, the hinge feels great as well. I mean, it does have a little bit of heft to it to actually push it up compared to other laptops. And if you push it down, you get this here. You get like this aesthetically. It's definitely more of a gamer aesthetic, that's for sure. It's definitely an aesthetic aimed towards gamers rather than just a generic aesthetic. the HP is normally well known for doing. This background here, this desktop background, is also HP Omen. I think it comes pre-installed on pretty much HP Omen laptops. A bit like how Alienware have their own desktop backgrounds, and I think quite a few actually have their own desktop backgrounds. So you have your HP Omen one there. So that's pretty much it for the outside of the laptop. Of course, you can open it up from under as well, but I'm not going to lift it up here because I'm probably going to break it. But you can lift it up from under as well, and then you could open it up and upgrade things like the RAM, or if you want to put like an extra, like I'm not sure about hard drives, but I think you might be able to get them all with just the SSD, where you could put the hard drive in if you wanted to, or put another SSD in. So that's pretty much the whole outside of the laptop. Now let's see how it runs some games. Okay, so while not the best angle in the world, I should do fine for this. So right here, we're going to start up a few games, and I'll tell you how they run. Okay, so first game here is Csgo, and we're getting on 1080p Ultra, we're getting around the 100 to 200 frame per second mark. And while it does, and we're pretty much staying in that region as well. I mean, it might drop down to maybe like the 90 frames per second if you get into like an intense battle or something. But overall, it seems to be pretty fine. Oh. Next game we're trying is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This right here is running on around like 1080p high settings, it looks to be, I think. 1080p high or 1080p ultra, I'm just not sure. Yeah, pretty much. The 1080p high and 1080p extra. So it's running on 1080p high, 1080p extra, and we're getting around 60 to 70 frames per second. Because while Black Ops 3 is a slightly older game, as I was saying there before, I was so rudely interrupted by that cough. As Black Ops 3 is a slightly older game, not as old as CSGO, but it is kind of, but it is slightly older. It's of course not going to run as well as CSGO, but it seems to be pretty much running okay, considering that we're running this on pretty much the highest settings you possibly can get on this game. So Black Ops 3, pretty good. So due to a slight delay because of having to throw a restart its way because of how GTA 5 was refusing to run because of script hook, and then the game recognizing that I'm playing it, even though I wasn't, and I wasn't even in the game. So anyway, after having to throw a quick restart its way, here's GTA 5 running on the system. And we're running once again at 1080p ultra settings and very high settings, and resolution scaling just set to normal, or I think it's resolution scaling, with all advanced options turned off, and we're getting around 58 to 60 frames per second. Well, we're getting the occasional 65. I think we're running at there's like a 71 that just hit there. So it sort of alternates between the 50 FPS. Sometimes it could drop below 40 if you get into sometimes it can go into 40 if you go into really demanding areas such as like a forest or something where it has to render all the grass and trees. Whenever you're in just slightly less demanding areas like this, you're getting around 60 FPS. Of course, I'm sure if you get into a lot of explosions and all, it could probably dip below into 40s as well. I have experienced that a few times of the game going below 40, but only for a split second, and it's always quickly catching up back to the 50s and 60s range. I suppose turning the settings down to high might fix that a bit. But so far, 50, 40, 60 FPS, it seems to be running fine for the GTA 5. Right, next game we're trying is Sonic Mania. Now this is a game that will probably run on a toaster, but no use. We're not hurting anyone trying benchmark it anyway, but this is probably a game that will run on a toaster anyway, so of course it shouldn't be no surprise that we're getting around 60 FPS here on the menu so far, so we just head into a game here. And we should still be able to maintain that 60 FPS while heading into a game. As you can see here, pretty much stably locked at 60 FPS. Most games, whenever they're stably locked at 60 FPS, would sometimes go to 59s as well, but this one here seems to be an exception, as we're staying in 60 FPS and we're not dipping below that at all. So yeah, Sonic Mania, wasn't really expecting it to run terribly, because considering the game probably could run on a potato, but Sonic Mania runs pretty well. Right, so next game we're trying here is Doom 2016, running on ultra settings with resolution scaling all the way up. And so far we're sometimes hitting the 100 frames per second. In less demanding areas like this, we're hitting like the 100 frames per second. I'm playing arcade mode here. But then once you start getting into huge fights, it can go into the 60s, and it can sometimes even dip below 30 in some areas. But it's normally only for like a split second. So most of the time you're staying in your 50s, 60s range, sometimes in the 40s. But to be honest, Doom is a pretty demanding game, so I wouldn't really expect less from it. Or so I wouldn't really expect much from it. Considering that we are using laptop hardware to run this game. But so far, yeah, pretty playable. Not the best experience in the world, but definitely playable. Next we have another game that we'll probably run on the potato. It's Minecraft, with the graphics and all the other with all graphics settings set to fancy, resolution at 1080p, and render distance set to 20 chunks. We're running pretty well here, probably around the 60 to 50 frames per second mark. But yeah, Minecraft's another game I think we'll run on a toaster anyway, so I'm not really surprised by this. And there's not really any areas where Minecraft can get extremely demanding. Also, quick side note here, there's no shader mods on this one. So I haven't tested it with shaders yet, because I haven't even modded this version yet, so we haven't tested it with shaders yet, but so far, with just the regular graphics set to fancy, we're pretty playable experience for Minecraft. Next game we're trying is Forza Horizon 3. And the reason we're trying Forza Horizon 3 instead of Forza Horizon 4 is because I don't own Forza Horizon 4 at all on Xbox or PC. And Forza Horizon 3 and Forza Horizon 4 system requirements are pretty similar, so I'm pretty sure that they will run about the same. So on Forza Horizon 3 on ultra settings, we're getting around 60 FPS. Sometimes whenever you're not driving so fast, it goes into 59. And this is with unlocked frame rate on. You could cap the frame rate if you wanted on this game. Oh, and here I am showing off my incredible driving skills in my Corvette. So Forza Horizon 3, pretty cool. Pretty good way to play it as well. I actually didn't expect it to run this well whenever I first got it. I was expecting to be able to run, maybe only really running like high or medium settings. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Forza Horizon 4 would be around the same due to them having similar system requirements.